Today, we're building a complete Maslow-style pyramid guide to your diet. We're going to take you all the way from the absolute basement of what happens when your body is basically running on empty, right up to the absolute peak of nutritional optimization. And honestly, the best part, we're going to show you how to take total control of your health without going broke and without forcing you to literally live in your kitchen.
Here's the blueprint we're working with today. 1. The cost of nutrient deficiency. 2. Building muscle on a budget. 3. The power of fermented foods. 4. Superfoods backed by science. And 5. The fast food survival guide. Let's get right into it.
Section 1. The cost of nutrient deficiency. The stakes of an empty tank.
Okay, let's dive into this. Before we can even think about optimizing, we have to look at the negative space. We really need to understand the fundamental stakes of an empty tank. Like, what actually happens when we deprive our biology of its basic needs? Well, think of protein as the ultimate construction crew for literally everything in your body. We're talking your muscles, your skin, your enzymes, the whole shebang. When you don't eat enough protein, that crew goes on strike. Your body gets desperate and literally starts consuming its own muscle tissue just to keep your vital organs functioning. You essentially start crumbling from the inside out.
And it's not just protein, right? It's kind of a horror movie list of deficiencies. If you skip essential fats, your brain, which by the way is 60% fat, starts to fog over, and your hormones just go into absolute chaos. Miss out on vital minerals like iron, and your body might develop a condition called pica, where it gets so incredibly desperate it starts craving dirt or chalk just to find those missing elements. And even water works on a delay. We usually think thirst is a warning sign, but by the time you actually feel thirsty, you're already dehydrated. Thirst isn't a prevention system, it's a late notice bill.
So, Section 2, Building Muscle on a Budget, the foundation of affordable health.
Now, what's really interesting about this is how simple it is to fix. Now that we know the stakes, it's time to build the foundation of our blueprint. And I want to assure you right now, elite health and muscle building absolutely do not require surrendering your entire paycheck to some specialty health food store. It is incredibly simple to map out a high-protein grocery list using highly accessible, cheap, whole foods. For example, chicken breast delivers 30 grams of protein per 100 grams. Canned tuna gives you 20 grams of protein with zero prep for about $1. And black beans, you get 15 grams of plant-based protein plus equal fiber for less than $1 a can.
But you know the ultimate secret weapon? $3. For less than $3, you can typically buy an entire dozen eggs. Every single egg is packed with about 6 grams of complete protein, meaning it has all the essential amino acids your body cannot make on its own, plus vitamin D. It literally costs pennies per serving.
And to fuel that muscle growth, we look to ancient staples. White rice and oats pair perfectly with these budget proteins. They deliver clean, easily digested carbohydrates to replenish your muscle glycogen without upsetting your stomach. Plus, a giant bag of rice will last you months.
Section 3. The power of fermented foods, repairing the gut microbiome. Okay, so we've got our protein foundation. Now let's move a step up the pyramid to our gut health. Because honestly, if your digestive system isn't functioning, it doesn't matter how much protein you eat. Repairing your gut microbiome is the next crucial step in our nutritional blueprint. To understand gut health, you really have to understand lactofermentation. This is a simple, brilliant biological process where naturally occurring bacteria consume sugars and produce lactic acid. That process creates billions of live probiotics. And this isn't some new health fad, right? This is literally how humans preserve food for millennia, long before the refrigerator was ever a thing.
And this brilliantly illustrates a massive trap hiding in your modern supermarket. See, most of the pickles and sauerkraut just sitting on room temperature grocery shelves, they're fake fermented foods. They are preserved with vinegar and pasteurized, which means heat-treated, completely killing all the live bacteria. If you want the actual gut-fixing benefits, you must look for the real fermented foods. They're raw, unpasteurized, and always found in the refrigerated section with live probiotic cultures.
Let's take a quick global tour of how historically powerful real fermented foods are. Kefir from the Caucasus Mountains doesn't just pass through you. Its bacteria actively colonize the gut and can even reduce lactose intolerance. Korean kimchi uses capsaicin to boost your metabolism. Genuine, long-fermented sourdough actually pre-digests gluten and drastically lowers your blood sugar spikes compared to standard industrial bread. And natto, it's a Japanese fermented soybean dish, and it is the only known food source of nattokinase, an enzyme clinically studied for its ability to literally dissolve blood clots. It's wild stuff.
Section 4. Superfoods backed by science, optimization, and truth.
Now we elevate our diet into the optimization phase. You hear the word superfood thrown around a lot by marketers trying to sell you, $50 powders. We're going to cut right through that marketing fluff to reveal the specific compounds that actually work. These foods earn their titles because of very specific science. Blueberries are packed with anthocyanins, which can cross the blood-brain barrier. Eating just half a cup of frozen blueberries a day can delay cognitive aging by up to 2.5 years. Salmon delivers EPA and DHA omega-3s that literally build cell membranes in your brain. A single cup of raw kale drops over 600% of your daily vitamin K. And chia seeds, their soluble fiber absorbs water to form this gel in your stomach, completely killing your hunger for hours.
But sometimes, simply eating the food isn't enough. You have to know how to unlock it. Turmeric has an incredible anti-inflammatory compound called curcumin, but on its own, your body barely absorbs it. If you add black pepper, which contains piperine, and cook it in a fat source, you boost that curcumin's bioavailability by a staggering 2,000%. No way, right? But it's true.
So the crucial point is this: ignore the marketing. Everything else is just seasoning. The real secret to optimization is fiber, protein, healthy fats, and probiotics spread across colorful, minimally processed foods eaten consistently over years. That's the real magic.
Section 5. The Fast Food Survival Guide. Real-world application.
So we've covered the science, the budget, and the biology. But let's bring this explainer home to the real world. Because no matter how perfect your blueprint is, eventually you're going to end up in a drive-thru. It happens to all of us. And when you do, you need a survival strategy. Let's test this in the real world, starting with Chipotle. A standard burrito with rice and queso easily clears 1,000 calories. But if you just drop the tortilla and the cheese and order a salad bowl with chicken, beans, and fajita vegetables, you keep all the flavor, get over 40 grams of protein, and cut the calories right in half. At McDonald's, the sausage McMuffin with hash browns is a total greasy calorie trap. But the standard Egg McMuffin, it's held the exact same recipe for 50 years. Real Canadian bacon, an egg, cheese, and an English muffin. It is an absolute secret weapon, giving you 17 grams of protein for just 310 calories. Swap those hash browns for apple slices, and you have one of the cleanest breakfasts in all of fast food.
Let's move to and see how this builds at a place like Taco Bell. The Crunchwrap Supreme gives you fewer nutrients for way more calories. But if you order the Power Menu Bowl with grilled chicken and ask for light cheese, you suddenly walk out of Taco Bell with 26 grams of protein and actual real vegetables.
Finally, Popeyes. The famous fried chicken sandwich is a 700-calorie bomb, but hidden on their menu, sometimes seasonally, are the Cajun-spiced blackened chicken tenders. Since they are grilled with spices instead of deep-fried, pairing 3 of those with a side of green beans gives you a 215-calorie meal packed with 26 grams of protein and almost 0 fat. It's an incredible hidden gem.
The point is, you don't have to apologize to anyone for ending up at a chain restaurant, as long as you know which levers to pull. From understanding the dire stakes of basic deficiencies, to buying $3 protein, cultivating your gut bacteria, and hacking the drive-thru, you now possess the complete nutritional blueprint. The tools are right there in your hands. So my question to you is, what will your next meal choice be?